It's rolling anyway, so I'm just gonna start this as it is. Anyways, oh, it's cutting off my head. That's no good. It's no good. It's no good. I need a haircut. I do. I need a haircut. I just got home from about a 15-hour day, and I no longer work in Bracebridge, so I'm just gonna do a commercial for something that I support and that I've supported in the past, and that is CUTCO knives. These guys here, and of course their associated company, which is KABAR. Now I just happen to have bought this SPACEBAR, which is a special edition KABAR, as a Christmas gift to myself, and because I needed a survival tool for when I don't have anything else. I got some paracord, some red paracord coming my way, so that's going to help me out a lot. Then I'm going to get another couple of things, to say like a packable stove, a burner, and then a tent. And then I pretty much have everything that I need to survive on my own with next to nothing. You know, I'll just load up my rucksack out there, my Castrol, the Osprey, with as many protein bars and bits of canned food that I can manage, and then Bob's your uncle. But actually, you know, Bob is my uncle. So these CUTCO knives we've had for a very, very long time, since about 2008, 2009. That's when CUTCO, as far as I remember, I don't know if they're still doing it now, was doing direct sales. They're employing a lot of students to do that. And so I sold this set to my parents. This, and then I sold another one to one of my other uncles who owned the restaurant at the time, and they were thrilled about it. But usually restaurants do something a little different. They'll get a bunch of disposable knives or whatever else, and then the chefs will bring in, if it is of such a, you know, such a calling to aspire for a star or something like that, they'll bring in their own knives. They'll bring in their own sharpening. Now I have a little sharpening whetstone here. That's about what I use. And you know, as soon as I was delighted, you know, to get this, because KABARs, you know, these are a bit of a joke there, have a reputation. They have a lethal reputation. I didn't get this knife, this SPACEBAR, because it had a lethal reputation. I got it because it was cheaper and it was a good solution, and I know how good quality these knives are versus another knife that I had before, which was a Benchmade bushcrafter, and a bushcrafter is very different from this here, but it still has some similar features, which I might talk about. But I'm just gonna cut. I'm gonna cut here with the chef knife, because that's how effortless it should be. That's how effortless. That's it. Okay? If I put the knife, I start sawing back and forth with just the pressure of the knife. It should cut right through it, just like that. That's a good knife. It holds an edge, and you don't have to sharpen it very often. It doesn't crack. It doesn't fling into two pieces and almost kill your dog, like a knife from Buttfuckistan. Now, this was hilarious in the lunchroom today. Before I parted ways with that company, it wasn't because of this knife. I don't think. I think it was something far grander than that. But this knife can be seriously intimidating. even in this interpretation, as the spacebar. Now this is fresh. This is as fresh as it gets, and I had it shipped to my workplace, and then I picked it up. I pulled it out of the box, and then I proceeded on my first break to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with it. And I thought that was hilarious. It was just a knife scraping its eye, right? Learning how to actually handle this thing. All your Marines will know what I'm talking about. It's a very old film, knife and club fighting. I'm not threatening anybody here. I'm just illustrating the history of this piece of steel. Now, this particular piece of steel is space themed, right? So it's got the space on the one side and then KABAR on the other. And let's do the same test, right? You just saw it back and forth. You might have to, there we go. You go in the middle of the rind. Okay, well, the Boy Scout in me is like, okay, that's not quite sharp enough here. But this was more than good enough. Now if I put a bit of pressure on it, it should just cut. See, it's not quite the same kind of knife. But there we go. There we go. This is where you would use a hone. So see if that aligns it enough for it to cut a little better. Yeah, there we go. That's it. That's it. That's the stuff right there. So you know the factory grind is not as good as it could be, in my opinion, just from that assessment. But you know, for making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or like peeling bark off of something, or making a shelter with this thing, or perhaps threatening an imaginary enemy, that would be the ideal choice. Is one of these a fixed blade, full tang knife. Now, some people will call this a combat knife. I call it a survival knife. This is a tool. This is a survival tool. Now, I got this knife from a store in town here in London. And I'm just going to keep them out of this video for now because I haven't met them in person. I don't know if they even like me or not. So this was the box here, and this is the genuine article, right? It says right there, Olean's, New York. If it doesn't say Olean's, New York, it's not a KABAR. I've seen some reproductions that said China on this side of it for this particular knife, and it was over $700. And this was not $700, not even from American prices. So here's what I'm talking about here, right? This knife has a reputation. It has a reputation and an association with the Marines, especially. Now, if I get this sharp enough, I might be able to shave with it. That'd be amusing, wouldn't it? Anyways, so I'm going to put this away. I'm going to keep the box for posterity's sake. I also have a Fairbairn Sykes upstairs. You know, that is definitely a lethal tool. It's an antique letter opener in my usage, but in other days, that same design was used to save people's lives by killing other people. So the first time that I happen to have seen one of these was in cadets, and it was owned by a young woman who went on to RMC, which is the Royal Military College here in Canada, particularly Kingston, and she became an officer. Now that happened to have been my dream in a previous era, but you know, I took a completely different path to success, and nonetheless, I think it will bear fruit in a different way, but you know, of similar value, or maybe greater than what was given to her and what she had worked for. Of course, I haven't talked to her in a while, and this, you know, we have this association when you're young. Oh, it's cool! Look at this thing, right? It was kind of a status symbol because you know she went and did what is it? The survival, not SLC, but the survival course, which is a six week course, survival instructor, and it was kind of like, you know, I don't know exactly how the orientation was, where she had it on her person, but you know, I admired her for that, and for other reasons, and we were on rifle team together, so we shared some jokes and got some good memories. That's all I'm going to say about that. Of course, no frat, you know. No, there's none of that. No. Yeah. So beyond that awkward moment of recollection, now I have one of my own. So again, so I'd have to say thank you to the people that manufacture these knives for KABAR, and then also for CUTCO here. You guys, you make amazing stuff. Please don't stop. That's all I got for this. Anyways, thanks for listening and watching this extended form commercial. Bye CUTCO and bye KABAR. You won't regret it.